So perhaps I treated the Fortnite event too harshly. Now, that might seem crazy because if you saw my live event reaction, obviously you will know that, yeah, I did not enjoy this Fortnite mini event, if you can even call it a mini event. Now, the point of this video is to talk about how this event actually might have been setting up something bigger and way bigger than we actually realize. And I'm going to talk about that today. I'm also going to talk about why I did not like this event in particular. So remember to stay to the end of the video to find out why this event legit might actually be one of the biggest events of all time, and why we should actually be very optimistic and excited for this. But first, let me tell you guys why I did not like this event. First of all, this event, as you can see from this video by Perfect Score, this event started really, really good. We have our main characters in the storyline, Hope and Jones, coming in, right? And just talking to us with voice lines like we used to have back in the day, like Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. And Jones, he has his Rift gun. That's something we saw back in Chapter 2 as well. So, a lot of lore there, a lot of really good tie-ins, and this genuinely felt like a real event. This opening felt like a real event was about to take place. Look at this, man. A giant demon called the Dark Presence coming out of a portal. Look how big that thing is. This was setting up a crazy event. And then this happened. As you can see right here, it slammed us down, and I was getting ready to fight this thing. I was getting hyped. And then it cuts to this. And we see the freaking animated just video. And we didn't realize it at the time, but we'd be watching this for the rest of the event. We see this animated video, Simpsons style, right? We see the freaking design of the villain of this chapter get revealed in this style. And we have to sit here and watch this the rest of the time. Now, this was actually, it wasn't bad, right? It was quite funny, and I could see what they were going for. But as for a mini event, this is not even an event. The starting part was, and that was like 90 seconds. This is just a video. They've done this again, bro. The last time they made us just watch a video was last year before Chapter 2 came back. That's by far the worst event of all time. Again, they're saying we have a mini event, and they just swap it out for a video. So, for me, that was really disappointing. But at least, it didn't drive away from the lore. It still told us how we get to Springfield and, what is to come with this demon and the 0-point shard and everything. So, good on that. I'm good on that. I'm happy that it's still tied into the storyline, but I just did not like how it was 90% a video and 10% an actual event. Now for the reason that you clicked on this video. Why will this event lead into one of the biggest Fortnite events of all time? Well, at the end of the Simpsons season, at the end of November, we will be getting the official Chapter 6 end event. So they still classify this as Chapter 6. They call it Mini Season 2. I think Chapter 6 is over because we won't ever go on that map ever again. But that's what they're calling it. We're getting an end event at the end of November and at the end of this season. And they are calling it something massive. And Fortnite aren't the only ones hyping this up, but the actual Epic devs are hyping this up as well. Let me show you. Okay, so right here, I have a bunch of tweets from Fortnite and the devs themselves that are talking about this event that's coming at the end of the Simpsons season. So first, Fortnite says, "What the heck was that demon? Something huge is coming at the end of this month. Stay tuned for more about our end of chapter event on November 29th. So, Fortnite themselves is now saying that something insane is coming at the end of November. So, it seems like they saw the disappointment with this event, right? And then they put this out to reassure everyone that, yes, that ties in to something crazy at the end of the Simpsons season. Now, the composer for Fortnite's music said, patience. He said patience. He too saw the disappointment about the event. And he said patience. Dude, holy crap. Now, I was one, right after this event, I was one saying how bad it was, how disappointed I was that once again, we got another event where it was barely any gameplay and just more watching a video. But seeing that the composer has said patience, and that Fortnite has confirmed that we're getting an end event that's huge, has really increased my hype and made me realize that event was more of a setup than an actual like standalone mini event. That's not all. Another dev at Epic Games says, just my opinion, but easily one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. They're talking about the freaking end event, bro. What happens in this event that is so crazy? I can't even think of it. I can't even think of it. This goes into chapter 7. Just remember that. So they're really hyping this event up. And it really does seem like the storyline is about to go into full swing. And that this event that I was hating on, saying that it was barely a mini event, genuinely does seem like it was actually just a setup. But I mean, still, I think that event could have been better. But I'm really glad that it actually means something and that it will tie into something huge at the end of the season. And this is coming from HypeX. So he famously said before the event that it's going to be what lore fans were waiting for. Obviously, he was wrong, and that was completely untrue. He doubled down on this, saying, on God, I'm not trolling. This tweet still stands. His tweet saying what lore fans have been waiting for. And it's not just about the presence, the giant tentacle demon. You'll see the rest of it at some point in Chapter 7, Season 1. And just so you would trust me, here they are, and I will unblur them one by one when they happen. Remember the first, last letters and length. And it's a insider, I'm assuming, with his info about the storyline and the event blurred out. What on earth could this stuff mean? So it definitely looks like some huge and crazy shit is planned. And that event that I thought was just so terrible and wasn't anything, it was just a cop-out for The Simpsons, looks like that actually does mean something. So I'll admit, I was wrong about that event. I still don't think it was good. I really think it could have been better and less of a video and more gameplay. But the fact that it leads into something huge is really getting me excited again. And I'm so freaking happy that Fortnite said something about this. And I'm so freaking happy that the story of that event will continue. Like, holy crap. That is music to my ears. So, yeah, the event is not what we thought it was. And there is going to be something even bigger that even the devs are talking about and hyping up in the future. At the end of this season, I'm ready. I'm so ready. And I'm so hyped again. And it makes me think better about that event now. So that's a good thing. See you all in the next one.